Mrs. Mary Travers put aside her book when she heard a taxi halt in front of her home in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, on the night of January 21, 1910. Her husband George was an insurance salesman. He had been away on a prolonged sales trip and his familiar footsteps on the porch were a welcome sound. Mrs. Travers hurried to the hallway and unlocked the front door. Her husband stomped the snow from his feet and entered the house silently, his hat pulled low over his eyes. "Welcome home," Mrs. Travers smiled. Her husband stood quietly with his back to his wife. Mary was puzzled by this unusual behavior. "George, are you sick?" she asked. The figure turned slowly to face the woman. Mrs. Travers, on seeing that, screamed with horror. The face staring at her was undoubtedly her husband. But it was terrifying, chalk-white death mask. Mary's anguished screams brought in the neighbors running to her home. The mysterious figure vanished. The shrill ringing of the telephone interrupted their efforts to calm the hysterical woman. One of the neighbors answered the phone. "Train number 17 plunged off the bridge into the Spanish River tonight," a railroad officer said. "It is my duty to inform the family that George Travers was one of the passengers who didn't make it." The eerie visitation from Mary Travers' dead husband was verified by several neighbors who heard her story before news of her husband's death was announced by the railroad. Elderly residents in Sudbury can still recall the chilling incident, and wonder,